Go listen to Hasan. Actually, you know what? Go listen to Hasan. People say, I need to go listen to Hasan. This is bullshit. Please, go listen to Hasan. Who fucking, by the way, yells at people in chat, calls them Zionist genocidal monsters for suggesting that the hospital wasn't bombed, okay, by the IDF, which is the same fucking thing the Hasan's fans come and tell me. So, that.
I feel like this clip was created purely to stir drama because it's cut in such a way that I don't actually have a full understanding of the context of the clip. Like, it's purely just like, hey, the girls are fighting. So I don't think there's much value in it. I don't know. That's all it's been lately. I've tried to talk to Ethan. I talked a little bit to Ethan in DMs. I wish I could talk more, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate. What are the odds you'll replace Hasan in Leftovers? Not particularly high. Also, I don't live in LA. I don't know, man. It's so frustrating. I feel like I'm constantly being pulled between two camps, and it's like, there are like the problem is that like there are lots of good liberals who I can get along with, but I know that they all have their knives ready to stab me in the fucking back the moment it's convenient to them. There are a lot of liberals who are amenable to stuff like worker-controlled ownership of the means production, but I know that for a lot of them, it's like the stuff with Israel and Ukraine. Like you can feel like there's an alliance there for like a decent length of time, but eventually most liberals who end up walking that track end up doing some insane anti-left pivot. They all fucking SPDU or whatever. And on the other hand, like walking with the lefties means that you just have to like normalize weird campus shit where there are people unironically defending Hamas or Russia or China or whatever else. And it's like, fuck, dude. Like, I feel like this isn't even a both sides thing because I'm definitely a leftist in terms of my political beliefs. I'm absolutely on that side of things. Just lefties are so vulnerable to the campus, like Kremlin, OPSEC, fucking you will believe that international socialism will be built on the back of like fucking Dengism shit, you know? And it's like, fuck, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Why are you pro foreign capitalism? Like, can't you be equally anti? Like, the frustrating thing is there are lots of positive things that I have to say about China and the Soviet Union. They're not the things that people would expect me to say. Like, there are technical policies like, wow, that housing policy was really nice. Or like, wow, that like weirdly authoritarian turn for the economic management of China actually did a lot to help the poor people in the countryside. So like, I understand why they did that. We did the research on Burkina Faso and Thomas Sankara, and Thomas Sankara did shit that was definitely authoritarian that I defend because his situation was so fucked that it felt like, and it still is fucked in Burkina Faso. It was so fucked that I thought like, okay, that's not good, but again, it's a lesser evil thing, right? And if the two choices are like, you know, keep your hands clean and get killed by the French, or be a bit of an authoritarian but maybe do some good and then get killed by the French, you know, like, I don't know, like, fuck, that's really tough. It's not, most of the time when people do authoritarian shit, it's purely because they're hungry for power, but Thomas Sankara wasn't. It seemed like his whole life was lived in selfless service to the people of Burkina Faso, and he died for it. So there's a lot of nuance there, you know? Same with Castro. Like, Castro did a lot of shit that I disagree with, but if you look over the history, it's like, okay, you know, we can acknowledge the bad, but there's definitely good here as well. Same with, like, the development of Vietnam. Like, there's so much shit there, you know? Fuck, if I did some research on, like some real research on like North Korean policy, I bet you I could find at least one thing where I could go, okay, well, there's something we can learn from this here. The Soviet Union did a lot of interesting stuff that I think could be replicated or at least learned from. But I don't get to talk about any of that because if I say anything even remotely fucking positive about any of these nations, then like I'm feeding into a portion of the left that will believe that I'm an unironic stand for them. And then if I ever say anything critical, because those countries did a lot of fucked up shit, then they turn on me like I'm doing some like liberal turncoat bullshit, which is really frustrating because like, no, I'm not. My principle's been consistent the entire time. I thought critical support meant critical support, not uncritical support. And I don't think that you have a right to uncritically support something that should be critically supported just because you feel that your role is to counteract the narrative of the mainstream or whatever fucking Hasan said or something. It's very frustrating. Yeah, it's really fucking annoying. Like, I think that Ethan is wrong on some stuff. Ethan isn't a socialist, which is a grievous moral failing. Also, I do think that Ethan has said and done some, like, weirdly Zionist shit, or, like, he's been, like, there's definitely, I don't agree with every take he's had, but I think that Ethan's a good guy, so, like, I'll talk with him about it, right? Like, I wish I could, right? You know, I'd be willing to. And then, like, most of the shit Hasan says, I agree with. Like, if you actually took, because people send me clips, right? But I'm not stupid. I know that if you send me a 10-second clip of him saying something dumb, he probably had like a 4-hour stream where he said mostly stuff that I agree with. Like, I don't, like, I understand how the clip chimp game works. So I know that like 95% of the stuff Hasan says, I would agree with him on. And domestically, he's better than almost any liberal I could get, right? There's lots of stuff he's probably going to be dumb on like the particulars, like, I don't know, like rent control or some shit, or like minimum wage laws. But a lot of that is really particular, like high level policy making stuff that we're not in control of anyway. It's mostly about the rhetoric to get people on board with the concept, I feel, when you're doing live streaming, unless you actually work with policymakers. And that's a different thing. You know, different rhetoric, different approaches. As long as you stay consistent and honest, you know, you try your best. There's no perfect way to do it. But then like he says really fucking stupid shit now and again, and I have to condemn that. And I feel like I don't know what the acceptable threshold is for association. I don't know how much you can deviate from me without it being an issue for me to agree with them on anything, with it like coming back to bite me. There are liberals that I can get along with, but then like how long do I roll with them before inevitably they turn on me for not being a liberal like them? I don't know if there's an answer to any of these questions. It's just incredibly frustrating. I think that's what's happening. That's what's going on right now between Ethan and Hasan as well. Like they're both sort of falling in with that line. However, I will say I'm not both sidesing this. I think Hasan is the one at fault for what's happening right now between the two of them, largely because Ethan's community is full of like gays and women and makeup YouTube tutorial watchers, whereas if you go in Hasan's Discord, there are definitely a bunch of people who are like doing the 14-year-old faux revolutionary, bloodthirsty, like teeth clenching, like, you know, Ethan is Zionist and he was responsible for the death of billions of babies, you know, like that shit. So I know that in terms of like community toxicity, Hasan's is way higher potentially than Ethan's is, at least in my experience with their communities. But I have enough experience with both their communities. So girls do be loving H3. That's true. Yeah. And it's only getting worse with Hasan too. Yeah, as well, because of the like Hakeem second thought thing. That second thought video was so dog shit, dude. Hakeem will never talk to me again. These fucking pussies, these cowards. Yeah, I don't really know what to make of it. Drama boring back to politics. Unfortunately, this is politics. I guess I just don't know which community I can, because like, you know, I look, like all YouTubers, I'm actually totally disingenuous. I don't care about any politics, all right? I just want that bread. And in order for me to get that bread, of course, I feel like I need to know which communities I can have inroads with, or like who I can talk to, or who I can engage with. We knew this already. Yes, of course. I'm actually spiritually Wario. I'm just like the money button. You know, for somebody who likes money so much, I sure do forget to press the add button. That thing makes you a lot of money. Oh yeah, I just feel like I have a lot of trouble to knowing like who I can even talk to, I guess. Majority Report. The problem with the Majority Report really is that like that's not really a community, that's a single channel, and Sam Cedar just kind of does his own thing. And also there's a big like tonal shift as well, because that's like a news platform, and I just do my thing, like not really talking to people. I don't know. I'm sorry, wait, hold on. The last thing that I wanted was you guys making suggestions. I keep forgetting. You're being the wrong type of helpful right now. Trust me, if you think that your solution to a problem that I'm having enough of that I can ramble about it on stream is what if I mention this one person that Vaush definitely knows about, it is not like the solution to the problem, you know? Yeah, know your place, you pigs. Anyway.